If you want to be rich, make sure that you read all these 10 books that I'm going to recommend. Hi guys, it's Helly and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am telling you about 10 top books that all billionaires and millionaires recommend if you want to be rich. I myself have also read majority of these books and I have found it very helpful. Now, by no means I am saying that I match the millionaires and billionaires, but someday I hope to. I'm still too young, but going strong. And yes, if you're interested in my income, career and passion and all of that, you should follow my second channel. In this channel, I talk about the lifestyle that has led me to that career and business. And that lifestyle is largely dependent on books. Talking about books a little bit first, you need to read books if you want to be rich. There are people who have boiled down experience of decades into less than 300 pages. Why aren't you reading yet? Reading can not only save you a lot of time and energy, but it can also give you that one idea, that one breakthrough that actually makes you rich. So get started with reading if you are not a reader already. On my channel, you'll find a lot of recommendations of reads in both fiction and non-fiction category. So you're at the right place. But yes, without any further ado, let's get into today's video in which I'm recommending you some amazing books if you want to be rich. Number one recommendation, 21 Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires by Brian Tracy. What I really like about Brian Tracy's book is that he does not belittle poor people. Now, if you read non-fiction, you must be aware of this. There's a lot of authors who say that poor people are just lazy, they're not smart, they're dumb, that's why they are poor. Whereas that is not the case. Some people just do not have the option. Some people just do not have the privilege. So Brian Tracy does not do that at all. He acknowledges everyone equally and he just gives the solutions. He does not put his point across just by belittling other people, which is a really shitty thing to do. And a lot of books actually do that, so I'm totally not up for it. I literally love everything Brian Tracy writes. He's written like 70 plus books and I've read like 10 of them and all of them are equally amazing. I highly recommend you start off with this one and let me know what you think about it. Now, in case you're unable to afford this book at its current rate, why don't you go ahead and get an audiobook subscription of Storytel. I actually listened to this book and a lot of other books that I'm recommending today on Storytel itself. Storytel is an amazing audiobook app where you can listen to as many audiobooks as you want for a small subscription fee. The usual subscription fee is about 300 rupees per month. If you use this discount code, you'll be able to listen to as many audiobooks as you want for 3 months without paying any additional fee. Alright, that is so cool. That's less than like 3 rupees per day, so you need to grab it right now. The link to this huge discount will be in the description below as long as it's valid, so do grab it now. And now coming back to today's video, after Brian Tracy's book, one book that I highly recommend for anyone who wants to get rich is 10x Rule by Grant Cardone. Now, Grant Cardone has his own things that I do not recommend, but the book itself is actually pretty good. Alright. Also, do note the fact that Grant Cardone has actually made a very successful business before he actually started talking about business, so that makes him much more credible than some other gurus. And 10x Rule has helped me a lot in order to achieve a lot in my young years. So a little bit into my personal story, I actually grew my business when I was in college. So I had my college studies and I was also doing a little bit of tuitions and all back then. And alongside that, I was doing YouTube and I was also doing my agency. So it was a lot of work and it was really a lot of pressure. And back then I had no one on my team. I was just a solopreneur. So it was pretty hard. But Grant Cardone's words, his book really helped me a lot to hustle hard. Alright. And I don't recommend mindless hustling, but I am proud of what I did and I am thankful that my younger self actually did all the work to get me here. And yes, this self is ready to put a lot of work in for my future self. Because frankly, with the amount of back pain I have at this age, I'm pretty sure by 30, I don't want to work. The next book I recommend is called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. This book also comes with a freebie worksheet which was really helpful. I love books which have worksheets, man. They really get you involved with the process. Now, T. Harv Eker's book starts off with how he first understood that money is not a bad thing, which was really important for me. I think growing up in a middle class family, we had a very negative relationship with money. Whenever we had conversations around money, it would always be about how someone is struggling due to the lack of it. The other conversation would be about how rich people are really bad. Now, I do agree that there are bad people and good people, but there are pretty much both types of people in all types of income ranges. So what you do with your money speaks more about you rather than about whether it is associated with your richness or poorness. Now, quality of the person does not depend on money. That is something I really started believing when I started reading Harv Eker's book. So I highly recommend this. I also feel like if you read this book, you will be able to wire your mindset to think like a millionaire. And I think quality of a person matters a lot. I would love to look at myself as a high quality person. I know that I was not that great like 3-4 years ago, but I've really put into my learning, I've invested into myself, my career and everything, and I feel much better about myself, and I have a long way to go. But this book was probably the stepping stone into my mindset. The recommendation would be the top 1%. I've personally not read this book yet, but it is about what the top 1% of the world does differently that makes them rich, that makes them who they are. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a great read. I read a very beautiful quote once that said that you have to be willing to do what the 99% are not in order to be in the top 1%, and I think that was so powerful. So every time I do not feel like working, I remind myself that I'm made for more. And I highly suggest that you do the same. I'm pretty sure you're made for more as well. I'm gonna tell you why that feeling of unsettlement happens. It's because you are meant for more. And your mind and body know that, but the society is pulling you into its mediocrity. And internally, you're struggling to reach out to your higher self. But the society doesn't agree. So there's an internal conflict that you don't realize. Once you start thinking consciously, you'll be able to realize this. This was one of the biggest breakthroughs I had, and I highly, highly recommend that you reach out for your higher self by reading some of these books. Now, the next book that I will recommend would be The Compound Effect. If you do not have good habits, if you do not have discipline, you cannot be rich. So you need to read this book. It's really, really good. If you do not have discipline, if you do not have good habits, you cannot aspire to be a successful person. Maybe short term, yes, but long term, no. So highly, highly recommended. Another book that I'm reading right now is all about sales. I feel like sales is one of those skills that you need in life, even if you're going for a job. You need to sell why you should be hired. In business, sales is absolutely mandatory, but I feel like sales is one skill that can help you no matter where you are in life. I really love the way the book started, So the author said that this book will teach you things with which if you're left at like a random place, within 24 hours, you'll be able to sell and make money for yourself and be able to sustain yourself. Like if you're just dropped anywhere randomly. And I felt like that's so powerful, a promise. Now, the next book that I'll recommend is called The Personal MBA. This book was so good that I had to get a paperback just so that I can mark a lot, because there's a lot of concepts and systems and processes that you learn from inside this book. It's really, really valuable and knowledgeable for anyone who wants to get into business, get into a normal job as well. And basically, if you want to get a better understanding of how the world functions, how money functions, how industries function. So highly, highly recommended. This is that one book in this list that I really want you to read, even if you don't read any other recommendation of mine. But then if you do that, we cannot be friends anymore. So yeah, choose wisely. The next book I recommend is called 4-Hour Workweek. I made a summary of this book way back in my past, and I am really happy with how things worked out after that. But yes, I do recommend you guys to read this. So what I took away from this book is that if you are successful enough in your business, there will be a point where you can automate stuff. But anyone who is very successful in their business actually puts in a lot of hours. I think Elon Musk puts in like 60-70 hours a week. He works more than anyone who is his employee. So if you want a successful business, if it's something that is your own, I'm pretty sure you won't want to work just 4 hours a week. It's not sustainable at all. But you do have the option, I guess, so that is pretty cool. And yes, I feel like this book focuses a lot on working productively instead of just working for the sake of it. So that is also very, very helpful. I feel like in my college years, I was very productive. Whenever I was awake, I was either studying or working. And yes, I did have my leisure too, but I did not watch any series or stuff which will actually take a extended period of my time. This is a big reason why I missed out on Game of Thrones, because it used to be a big thing during my college days, and I just did not have the time for it because I was hustling so hard. I did enjoy my bit with How I Met Your Mother and Friends in my school days, so I'm happy enough. The next book I'll recommend is called Figure Freelancer by Laura Briggs. This book is really good for anyone who offers services in their business or has a service-based business, and if you're a freelancer. So I'm a freelancer. I'm pretty sure a lot of you know this already. I've made many videos on this channel itself, and I have a second channel all dedicated to freelancing. So if freelancing interests you, if you want to try out freelancing, if you want a side hustle, maybe you want to follow my second channel, I have a lot of people who just got clients and made a lot of money just by watching my videos. So make sure that you have subscribe to that channel if you're interested in freelancing and online income. But yes, coming back, Figure Freelancer is also a very good book that you can read. So it's not for those who are just starting off, but if you're a freelancer for some time already, or if you have skills which you can offer as a freelancer, maybe you will like this book. But yes, it is definitely for someone who is at a higher level and not for a beginner. The next book that I'll recommend is called Influence by Robert Cialdini. Now, I feel that if you want to be successful in life, you need to communicate. You need to be able to persuade people. You need to be able to tell people why they should choose you or your offer each and every time. So the skill of persuasion is lifelong. I highly recommend you guys to read this book. This book was a recommendation that I got while I was learning copywriting. As you guys know, I am in marketing. So copywriting is a big part of marketing itself. So I wanted to become a better copywriter. So that's why I read this book. But it is actually like pretty helpful in any part of business or life in itself. So do read this, and yeah, let me know if you like the book. Now, and yes, that brings me to the last book that I'll recommend, and this is a very cliched recommendation, so I just kept it for the end, and this is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. You cannot build a business, you cannot be successful without impacting other people's life. At the end of the day, money is a reflection of how valuable you are to other people, and how can you make money by working with people unless you know what they want and unless they like you. You're not taxes, so no one is gonna pay you unless they like you. So make sure that you are creating something that is valuable for the marketplace. And yes, if you can master the art of talking to people, which I am very bad at thanks to my social anxiety, but I still struggle with it and do it every day because of my business, I can assure you that you'll be well off in life. And yes, that brings me to the end of today's video. I hope that you've enjoyed my lovely bosses. I hope that you have taken away some recommendations from this video that you're gonna read. I hope that you get very wealthy and very rich in life. Money is a beautiful resource when you use it the right way. This is something that I have learned only in the recent years, and I've really actively worked on improving my relationship with money, and I hope that some of it has been passed on to you in today's video. All the recommendations that I've given you will be in the description below for easy finding it on Amazon, or if you want to get it on Storytel at the huge discount, then also the link will be in the description below. So go grab it before the offer expires. I'll see you with another video next week. Till then, keep healthy. Bye bye.